Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for another one of our Career Cafe interviews. My name is Cindy, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Career and Job Services team. And today we're going to be interviewing Dr. Emily Kurokawa. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we have Dr. Emily Kurokawa joining us to do our Career Cafe interviews. And for our first question, we have, can you tell me a bit about your personal background and career path that led you to the role you're in today?
Sure. Thank you for having me, Cindy. So I am currently the medical director at North Fulton Hospital at Pain and Spine Center. So I'm an anesthesiologist and an interventional pain physician. Growing up, I've always liked math and science. I was never really into history, social studies, English, political science. So then in college, I decided to major in biology with a minor in chemistry. I like the lab work, and then ultimately, it's very important if you want to go into the healthcare to start shadowing. I thought I wanted to be a dentist, so I studied for the DATs until I shadowed and realized I really didn't enjoy focusing on people's mouth, just specializing that one area. Even ophthalmology, just focusing on the eyes over and over. I thought it was going to be boring, so I finally shadowed an anesthesiologist, and really I just called around, and I fell in love with it. I thought it was really cool. You saw different kind of surgeries. Every day was a different day. Um, so that's when I pursued medical school, did my residency in anesthesiology, and I could have stopped there, but I actually wanted to kind of be double board certified. So I did an extra fellowship, 1 year training in interventional chronic pain management. So that's what I do every day now.
Awesome. Thank you. And for our next question, we have, what skills do you think are most important for someone interested in a job like yours? What are your biggest challenges that you face day to day?
Skills. So I think important qualities, if you really want to pursue this path, would be ambition, eagerness. You definitely need discipline, and motivation. You have to be really studious. In the beginning, it's just years of studying, didactics, exams. If you kind of want like a breakdown, after high school, you do college. So I did 4 years for a Bachelor of Science degree, then 4 years of medical school. And depending on which residency you go into, I did anesthesiology, so that was 4 years. I know family medicine would be 3. If you want to be a general surgeon, that's 5. Neurosurgeons, I think, has the longest 7 years. So that's on top of med school and regular college Bachelor of Science. I did an extra year of fellowship in interventional pain. So altogether 13 years, including college. So you definitely have to be hardworking. Throughout that 13-year process, you got to be professional. It's all about networking, being prompt, showing up on time. You got to be the first one to arrive, the last one to leave. You don't want to be portrayed or known to be lazy or a slacker. I work even harder now than I did before. Initially, it was just studying books. Now I want to be the best clinician, so staying up to date, studying, provide the best clinical medicine for my patients. So you still work hard. And, I went to Georgia State University for my undergrad, where I majored in biology, minor in chemistry. Then I went to Medical University of Americas. It's in the Caribbean, so that was nice to get away from any distractions. For residency, I went to Medical College of Georgia in Augusta, Georgia. I wanted to go back home because I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and my goal is to just be closer to friends and family. For fellowship, I went to University at Buffalo in New York for 1 year. It was a brutal winter. And throughout this whole journey, I was fortunate to be with my husband. So I met my husband in high school, and we did everything together from college till now, and we even worked together. So I was very lucky to have that partner, to help feed each other ambition and support each other. But I guess part of the biggest challenge that I face day to day would be juggling work life balance. Um, it can be pretty demanding. I work like yesterday, I worked 6:30, got home by 6:30, about a 12-hour day. I'm seeing 30 patients, and then all I want to do is come home and try to spend an hour or two with my kids. So you kind of miss that. As you can imagine, 13 years of training, of studying, you pretty much lose your 20s, but it's worth it. You do have to make sacrifices, so that's kind of hard. But you just got to focus on your end goal. Other challenges? I work for a hospital, so dealing with the hospital administration can be quite challenging because I don't want to go into the politics of it, but there are things that hospital wants you to do, and it can impact the way you practice medicine. So that can be quite challenging. And staying current with the evolving medicine, now you got to learn everything about you can about COVID, and those are things that weren't in place, a year ago. So the evolving medicine aspect can be quite challenging. So just being up to date and current, and you're just constantly studying. I don't think you'll ever stop. So I passed all my boards. Every 10 years, you're going to have to retake the exam. So you can't just say, oh, I passed, I'm good. You have to recertify every 10 years. So the older you get, that could be quite challenging if you're not used to studying. Um, that's pretty much, I can't think of any other challenges, but I think if as long as you're hardworking, you're ambitious, you're networking, you're professional, you'll do fine. And I think that goes for any career.
Awesome. And for our next question, we have, what do you enjoy most about the work you do? What are you most excited about right now?
Okay. Um, so I really enjoy interventional pain management. So what I do is I have patients who'll come in complaining of years of chronic pain in the neck or the back. And after assessing them, you try to. It's kind of like you're a detective. You got to figure out why they're hurting. You order imaging, X-rays, MRIs to determine why they could be hurting, and you do procedures. You start with conservative therapy, and then make recommendations in order to help them so you can improve their quality of life, whether it's just playing, tolerating and playing with their grandkids, or just being able to go shopping or go on vacation or even go to work. You want to prevent them from filing for disability. It has a downstream effect when they're hurting. It affects their mood, affects the people around them, their relationship. They can become depressed. So when I see a good outcome, that's what I really enjoy. I occasionally I pick up anesthesia shifts on weekends whenever I'm free, so I don't lose my skill set. And that's rewarding because you help these patients get through surgery. So anesthesia can be quite nerve-wracking, so to speak. It's kind of like flying a plane, taking off, so which means putting them to sleep so the surgeons can operate. And then basically, when you land, meaning waking them up safely after the surgery, that's rewarding because you get them through surgery, whether it's life-threatening or an elective procedure that they're having. It's just kind of nice when you can provide that service. It is a service. Most anesthesiologists will call themselves as contracting work. Another awesome thing about anesthesia, because I focus on pain, but as far as the anesthesia, you get to see so many different surgeries. And if you are an adrenaline junkie, so you can work at a hospital where I work at, there's a level 2 trauma center. So you have patients coming in from gunshot wounds, stab wounds, they're nearly about to die. You're doing everything you can to save the patient. When you save them and you send them to ICU, you feel like you've done your part in society. So that's pretty enjoying on the anesthesia aspect. What am I most excited about right now? That's a hard question. I guess I'm just thankful that I have a good job that I enjoy. COVID really highlighted that. A lot of people you hear about them getting laid off, furlough. So the fact that I have a job, I'm helping patients. In chronic pain, I have a lot of referrals. So, a lot of family doctors, surgeons, they send me their patients because they can't help them with their pain and they don't feel comfortable prescribing certain medications. They can't do certain procedures. So, the fact that I feel like I'm needed, um, I feel like I have a skill set that can help people. I know that seems pretty cliche, but it's true. I mean, the fact that you feel like you're helping, you're contributing to society. I think that's what's exciting, and that's what I enjoy the most.
For our next question, we have what recommendations should students explore to enter this field? What are common entry level jobs?
I recommend just shadowing everybody anywhere. Talk to people, network, ask a bunch of questions. I started this journey just calling around every hospital and asking them if I could shadow them, if I could just, follow whoever you want, just to see what life is like in their shoes. No one knows where they're going to end up. So you'll have to see it and figure out if it'll click, if you'll like it, keep an open mind, try everything. Um, I just called around. I called all the different dentists. I called a pharmacist. If you have family members, ask them. And that's what I did. I had a couple of cousins just calling and asked if they could just show up. I would have to handle the whole legal issues, HR, to get them a badge. But you don't have to pay. If you just devote a couple hours during summer break or winter break, I think anyone would be happy to, show you or anyone what life would be like. Common entry level jobs into the hospital system or any healthcare, I think, technician, look into technician, patient care transport, um, any kind of therapist. So, like a physical therapist, occupational therapist. There are other there's a radiology tech. If you're interested in X-rays, I just helped my friend into anesthesia tech. So he doesn't want to go to med school because the route's a little bit too long. But he wants to be in the OR. So you can be a scrub tech. Scrub tech are people who hand the equipment to the surgeons. So they're scrubbed in and they hand stuff, the scalpel, the clamps to the surgeons for them to operate. Anesthesia tech, same thing, but on the other side of the curtain, they help the anesthesiologist by getting equipment, hooking up the monitors, just making sure everything is ready to go for each case for that day. Um, just getting in any hospital or any clinic, private practice, and just start volunteering. I know at our hospital we offer volunteer work over the summer break. Once you get your foot in the door, you meet the right people, you ask questions, and you can start, shadowing. That's probably the best way to get in.
Awesome. So for our last question, we have if you could do it over again, how would you pursue your career path?
I don't think I would change much, other than the fact that I probably wasted a little bit of time of thinking that I wanted dentistry, but I don't think I would change much. I'm happy with the path that I chose. And really grateful that I'm in the position to be able to tell anyone, and hopefully inspire you. I think it's a great field, but be prepared for the long journey. You do make sacrifices. I mean, 13 years, I have had to miss weddings and funerals, and you do make sacrifices. But in the end, I'm happy to be where I am. It doesn't have to be healthcare. You should just go chase after your dreams, but just know that it won't come easy. I would recommend devoting a minimum of 1 hour of your day to do what you got to do to get closer to your dream. So, like, I know you want to hang out with your friends, but just 1 hour, just think about, what do I need to do? Do I need to work on my resume? Do I need to make one phone call? Do I need to, send an email? Just 1 hour. And then that way you feel like you're a little bit productive. And then you don't you don't stray from your path. I wouldn't change anything. Um, I don't think I had a lot of support Both my parents and my parent-in-law, they supported us, so that helped me. And I don't think they would have changed anything on my behalf. Um, so yeah.